fact that this is the left ventricle. So, Mr. Gilmore, what are going to be the four chambers if I'm looking at it? This is going to be right atrium, right ventricle. Left atrium, left ventricle. Now, the easiest thing for me to do, Mr. Gilmore, says all the vessels of the heart are going to be known as coronary vessels. That's a fair assessment. The next thing is all this yellow stuff that's going to be found in the heart, Mr. Gilmore, outside, is going to be adipose tissue. In addition to that, you'll notice that I have these cute ear flap things. Here's one here. Here's one here. These are called auricles. So this is the right auricle. Here's the left auricle. But Mr. Gilmore, I need you to take me a little slower now. Here's what we got. We got this unique structure that's going this way, Mr. Gilmore. This is called ascending aorta. This is the aortic arch, and then it becomes the descending thoracic aorta. Coming off the aorta, Mr. Gilmore, are these vessels, 13, 14, 15. 13 represents, Mr. Gilmore, brachiocephalic artery. 14 represents left common carotid. 15 represents left subclavian. But Mr. Gilmore, if that much is true, you need to be able to break those down to me in more depth. I will. Here's the ascending aorta, the aortic arch, the descending thoracic aorta. So this blue structure, Mr. Gilmore, is the pulmonary trunk. It has to split into left and right. Well, Mr. Gilmore, we're going to get to that too? Yes, we are. But one thing I need to do now is open this up. When we open this up, Mr. Gilmore, we know that this chamber is right atrium. This chamber is right ventricle. This chamber is left atrium. This chamber is left ventricle. When Mr. Gilmore, blood comes and fills this up and has to go through here. Well, this structure number 35, Mr. Gilmore, is the tricuspid valve. But Mr. Gilmore, there's something connected to it. Those are called chordinae tendineae. They go from the papillary muscle to the valve. So, Mr. Gilmore, rule of thumb, chordinae tendineae go from the papillary muscle to the valve. Now, you're going to see some other bands that go from wall to wall. And we're going to call those trabeculae tendineae. Totally different. Chordinae cords go from the papillary muscle to the valve itself. The ones that go from wall to wall, Mr. Gilmore, are going to be called what? Trabeculae tendineae, if that makes any sense. Now, you'll notice over here, this valve is going to be bicuspid, a.k.a. mitral valve, because of what it connects. Now, Mr. Gilmore, what's this valve right here? Well, it's the entryway into the pulmonary trunk, so this valve is going to be the pulmonary semilunar valve. Now, I got to rotate this so you can see the other valve, which is 45. 45 represents what, Mr. Gilmore? The aortic valve. The aortic valve. Okay, I kind of got that. This one structure I need to point out real quick is this yellowish structure. Mr. Gilmore, he connects those two. What's his name? His name is ligament arteriosus. The ligament arteriosus is the remnant, the end result of the ductus arteriosus. The ductus arteriosus is only found in a fetal heart. The ligament arteriosus is found in the adult. All right? Now, I need to show you all something. This structure right here is going to be what we call, when I look at this, you're going to see a depression that runs the length of the heart in this direction. His name is longitudinal sulcus. Longitudinal sulcus. It's going to be like a groove running on the heart. The other one runs in the back, Mr. Gilmore, like this. His name is going to be transverse sulcus. Transverse sulcus. Now I need to point out one more thing real quick before we start having fun. This fella right here, superior vena cava. This fella right here, inferior vena cava. No big deal, Mr. Gilmore. Go back up here. On the arterial supply, we noticed we had the ascending aorta, the aortic arch, then become the descending thoracic aorta. We found out number 13 was brachiocephalic artery, number 14 was left common carotid, and we said the 15 was left subclavian. But Mr. Gilmore, coming off the brachiocephalic artery, we know we got to have a what? Right subclavian and a right common carotid. Because this is left common carotid and that's left subclavian. Make sense? Mm-hmm. All this other stuff that you see is bypasses. Just showing you a quadruple bypass. That's all it is. Now let's have fun. On the inside of the heart, Mr. Gilmore, we need to break this down.
So these are the ones that are going to actually be on that?
Both.
Both of this? Or that too?
No. I'm using this and those.
Okay.
Alright? You see the outside of the heart? That's called pericardium. The muscle of the heart, myocardium. The inside lining, endocardium. Now, you'll notice going from wall to wall, Mr. Gilmore, these bands. That's called a what? Trabeculate tendinate. But you'll notice, Mr. Gilmore, going from the papillary muscles to the valve itself is coordinate tendinate. You see that? That's all I need to show you, really, on the actual heart. The rest of it, I just showed it to you. This is not hard. We've done the heart in lecture before. You just got to spend time with it. That's it. I'm shutting down here. This test is not hard. You got to put time into it.